Hi everyone. So my name is Navneet Singh and I am presenting today for a short training on a powerful Six Sigma tool known as SIPOC. So this tool is used usually in the define phase of DMAIC cycle, which is the foundation of Six Sigma improvement projects. So in today's session, I'll walk you through what SIPOC means, explain each part, and then we'll go through real world examples. So those examples would be in food service sector, education sector, and one would be in healthcare. So let's begin. So what is SIPOC? SIPOC is an acronym that stands for Supplier Input Process Output and Customer. So it's a simple but very effective tool to help us understand the full scope of a process from start to finish. SIPOC diagrams are created at the start of a project to clarify what's inside and outside of the scope. So it helps the teams quickly visualize who is involved, what goes into the process, what steps are followed, what comes out, and who receives the results. So this clarity is key in identifying improvement opportunities and avoiding confusion later on in the process. So next we'll move towards SIPOC overview. So let's take a closer look at each element. First we have supplier. Supplier refers to the person or organization that provides any input to the process. Then we have input. Input is the material, data, or information needed to perform the process. Then we have process. Process includes all the steps or activities that transform inputs into outputs. Output is the final product, result, or service that is delivered to the customer. Finally, customer is the person or entity who receives the output. When we line these up in a table, we get a clear view of the entire process life cycle. Think of it as a roadmap that helps everyone stay aligned during the project life cycle. Next, we'll move towards the examples. So, our first example would be fast food restaurant. So, imagine the process of a customer ordering a burger. So, the supplier is the food vendor who provides ingredients like buns, patties, veggies, or any other toppings that are to be put in the burger. The inputs are those raw ingredients that makes our burger. Then the process is taking the customer's order, preparing the burger, packing it, and handing it over to the customer. Then the output is the final burger meal. Lastly, the customer is the dine-in or takeaway guest. So this SIPOC gives clarity to who does what and where the process begins and ends. So our next example is college course registration. So think about the process of a student registering for courses online. So in this case, our supplier would be IT team or academic staff who prepare the course lists. Inputs include the course schedules, student ID, and the login system. Then the process includes logging in, selecting courses, and confirming registration. And the output is a finalized class schedule. The customer here is student, obviously. So this epoch helps identify all the moving parts in a seemingly simple digital experience. Next, we have hospital ER admission. So the suppliers here would be uh, EMS team that would bring in the patient and the hospital reception staff. And inputs are the patient's symptoms, identification, and medical records. The process follows several steps. So, first would be check in, then triage, then diagnosis, and lastly, treatment. And the output is a stabilized or treated patient. The customer is not only the patient but also their family or friends. So, this example shows how SIPOC applies even in high pressure environments. So, why SIPOC is valuable? Why should we care about SIPOC? So, it is because it gives project teams a shared understanding. It defines boundaries, what's in scope, what's not, and prevents misunderstandings about who is responsible for what. It also it also makes it easier to identify improvement areas and help everyone, from leadership to frontline, stay aligned with the goal. It's not just a diagram; it's a communication tool. Next, we have our last slide. So let's talk about recap and summary. So, to recap, we have learned that SIPOC stands for Supplier, Input, Process, Output, and Customer. It's used early in the define phase of Six Sigma to map a process at a high level. I've shown you how it works in three different scenarios: a restaurant, an online registration system, and a hospital ER. I hope these examples gave you a clear understanding of how to apply SIPOC to real world situations. Lastly, this is my references that I have used in preparing this video. Thank you so much for watching this training session. I encourage you to try creating a SIPOC diagram for one of your own everyday processes. Thank you.